The Cincinnati Reds are coming off a season in 2022 where they went 62 and 100 and had a lot of low lights. But they did have a couple bright spots too. So it wasn't a totally down year for the Reds, although on paper, on the record, wasn't a good year at all. However, they do have some bright spots heading into 2023, and they're going to look to continue their rebuild or retool or whatever they want to call it. And hopefully, Cincinnati Reds can have a solid year. But this is your Cincinnati Reds team profile here in Bleacher Brawls. My name is Derek. I'm here with John, and let's get straight into it. As I said, Cincinnati Reds 62 and 100 was their record in 2022. Obviously, on paper, it doesn't look great, but they do have some interesting pieces, especially for the future. So I'll go to John first. You're looking at key players for the Reds team in 23 and just for the franchise as a whole. Who are the three key players, and out of those three, who's one that really sticks out to you as, that guy?
Well, for me, I mean, the three players I kind of would look at to kind of taking that would be Jonathan India, former Rookie of the Year, Joey Votto, who is just a franchise all-time player for the Reds, and then Hunter Green, who is a dynamic and electric young pitcher who looks like he could have a very bright career. And for that reason, I'm singling out Hunter Green. This kid's got a ton of talent, and if he could really turn into a real ace, with apparently, I mean, you can touch on this more than I can, obviously. But to my understanding, the Reds actually have a pretty decent farm system on their way up, or at least a few very young players coming up there up.
Yes.
So if Hunter Green can really be an ace of this staff and just one of the best pitchers in the National League, it gives you a great jump and a head start to help some of these young players as they improve, and maybe the Reds can finally put something together. So Hunter Green all the way for me.
Yeah, he's so dynamic. I mean, he's pumping 102, 103 as a starter. It's like, holy crap. It's like, what is this? And, so he's so dynamic. And I don't know if there's another starter in the league like him, just throwing gas. But I do want to single out a couple other guys. Alexis Diaz, brother of Edwin Diaz, very good year last year. Nick Lodolo, another starter that they have, who's young, very talented, left-handed pitcher. So him and Hunter Green, two very bright futures in that rotation. But I'm going to single out Jonathan India because he had a down year in 2022. It was a rough year. He coming off winning Rookie of the Year in 2021, not the strongest rookie class in 21 in the National League that we've ever seen, but he still won Rookie of the Year, and it's still a big achievement. And you would think, okay, now let's see if he can take another step in 2022. And he hit a sophomore slump. Wasn't a great year, but there's still talent there. Obviously, we saw it in 2021. He's playing at second base. It's still a very key position up the middle. And, he's a fun guy to watch when he's on and when he's playing well. And, I think he's, super bright move for their future. Super bright guy for their future with some other guys they've got coming in that infield down the road. Yeah, very, very exciting guy. And it kind of leads into some of the moves they made in this offseason because they traded for Kevin Newman, who can play shortstop. They brought in Chad Pinder from the A's as a free agent signing, who's utility guy, can play all over the place. And then they brought in Will Myers, who was with the Padres last year, obviously, can play first base in the outfield. But no major moves. So was their big move? They DFA Mike Moustakas. I mean, he wasn't really great for them. It's kind of whatever. I mean, Joey Votto's sticking around, so that's cool. I mean, what's really their move they made this offseason? Is there really one move that you can kind of put your thumb on and go, hey, there's something there?
And there isn't. That's the problem. And this is a team that's not really trying. And if I remember correctly, beginning of the 2022 season, even their owner made comments about that, like about the team wasn't really trying, and like the fans, like he said something. I don't know what it was. I don't want to misquote the guy, but yeah, this is a team that's not very good. Been poorly run, so there were no big offseason moves, which is crazy because I remember, 91 when the Reds won the World Series. I mean, that team was really, really good. With young Paul O'Neill, you saw Barry Larkin, Jose Rio, the Nasty Boys in the bullpen. And, Paul O'Neill, I love you. I'm not saying anything negative. Paul O'Neill was a young guy when that team won the World Series, and now Paul O'Neill's announcing for the Yankees and is quite a bit older. And the Reds haven't been competitive since then. My old man, my dad, he'll tell you like about those big red machines in the big red machine in the 70s. Just like this just amazing team that was put together. They just dominated for 3 years, I believe, or at least 2 years. Um, yeah, it wasn't three, it was two World Series. So like you start looking at all that. I mean, the Reds have a heck of a history, and I believe they might, if I'm correct, I think they're technically the oldest professional baseball team, if not the second oldest to the Pirates, but it's like one of them going back to the 1800s. And your big offseason move was DFAing Mike Moustakas. So clearly, again, there's something wrong there and it needs to get fixed.
Yeah, it's rough. They have so much young talent too. You got Jonathan India, you got your pitching in Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo, and they got guys coming through the system. Noelvi Marte, I like a lot. Ellie De La Cruz, I think he's got like the potential to be the best player in baseball. Like that's how much I'm in on Ellie De La Cruz and what he is. He's listed at 6'5", and I think he's listed at 6'5". Rumor is he's arguably bigger than that. He might be 6'6", 6'7". He's listed at 200 pounds. Big. He's more like 210, 215, if not bigger, a little bit bigger. Like elite speed, elite arm, like elite raw power. He just got all the tools and had a stellar season in the minors last year. Hit 304 between high A and double A. Just such a good year last year. He actually had a combined OPS of 945. It just 28 home runs. He had 47 stolen bases. Just the guy does everything, and he's got such a bright future. So I think for this Reds team, they didn't have really big offseason moves, but there is exciting things to look forward to. I like Noelvi Marte when he's with the Mariners and their system. Obviously, came over in the Luis Castillo trade as the big piece there. They do have other guys in the system too, but those are the kind of two. Noelvi Marte is number two, and then Ellie De La Cruz, who I think is a top 10 prospect in baseball right now. I think he's arguably, honestly, I'd hesitate to put Anthony Volpe and Marcelo Meyer ahead of Ellie De La Cruz. That's how much I like Ellie De La Cruz. Like he's right up there with Gunnar Henderson, Volpe, and Marcelo Meyer. He's right up there with those three. That's the kind of prospect, and he might have the highest ceiling out of all of them, which is crazy. But yeah, they definitely do have things to look forward to. Now looking forward to 2023, it's kind of bleak. It's just continue the rebuild, improvements from your young guys and your younger players, and see the minor league system continue to grow and prospects develop. That's kind of what it is for 2023, I think, for the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, future is bleak for not the current future. 2023 is looking bleak. Good luck to them trying to figure out 2024 and beyond. Hopefully some of these prospects really pan out and maybe the Reds can finally make it back to the playoffs and maybe even compete.
Yeah, because this Reds team, even like a couple of years ago, they had talent. Luis Castillo and Joey Votto had a bounce back year in 21, and Jonathan India was very good in 21, and you had Tyler Mahle and Sonny Gray was there, and like that, the Reds team, they had talent, and there's just been like no investment in like free agents and just like a lack of trades that are really like make moves happen, and then now they've traded away a lot of their talent that's getting close to free agency. So yeah, it's definitely a rebuild in Cincinnati. But hopefully, things start to turn around for them because, yeah, they've had success in the past, and their franchise that, they get success and, the fans will start showing up and supporting them. We've seen it with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are good. The fans are supporting them, and you don't see it with the Reds because the Reds are just, what is there to support? Yeah, young players, yippee, but right now the future, the immediate future is definitely bleak, like you said. But yeah, leave it on a bright spot though. Reds, they do have those young pieces. Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo in that rotation. I'm very excited about Alexis Diaz. Super excited about him in that bullpen. So we'll leave it off on a little bit of a high note at least. Those are three guys that, on the pitching side of things, that have very bright futures for them. Yeah, we'll leave it off there. Make sure to check out our playlist of all our team profiles that we've done. This is, I think, this is the third one we're doing. So it's not going to be many there if you're watching this the day or day after it comes up. But if you're a little late to the party, That will be the first link in the description. Also, check out all our other links, the Bleacher Brawls website, podcast, Instagram, and Twitter, plus all the cruisers. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever we post. Comment, let us know your thoughts on the Cincinnati Reds, especially if you're a Reds fan. Let us know. We'd love to hear, John's a Yankees fan, I'm a Red Sox fan. We have fun talking baseball, talking about each other's teams. Let us know your thoughts on the Reds, especially if you are a Reds fan. We'd love to hear them. For John, my name is Derek. Thanks for tuning into this Cincinnati Reds team profile. She's doing a lot of them right now. Cincinnati Reds team profile. Thanks for tuning in to Bleacher Brawls, and we'll see you next time.